I would like to go to Poland one day, but I'm Canadian, so I don't know the way of Polish people, the do's and the don't do's in Poland. So today we're going to watch a video called 13 Things You Should Never Do in Poland from the channel Where's Wes. Let's check it out.
So I've been living here in Poland for a few months now, and I gotta say it's been awesome. However, my experience here has not been perfect, and there are a few things that I have done that have definitely rubbed Polish people the wrong way. So today I wanted to share with you things that you absolutely should not do here in Poland. So one of the stereotypes here is that Polish people don't smile. That's half true and half not true. It's more like they walk around with a resting bitch face all the time, I'm gonna be completely honest, but that's just a part of the culture, especially if they don't know you. However, once Polish people get to know you, they are incredibly friendly and welcoming, small talk and everything. What I've learned is how to do the Polish smile, and the Polish smile is just like this. It's kind of like a half grin. You don't really show your teeth. You just kind of.
It's funny because I live in Thailand, and Thailand is known to be the land of smile. That's how people call it. So it seems to be a very big contrast with where I'm living.
Bow your head as a sign of respect, but it's not like people are going to be greeting you and welcoming you super smiley like they are in a place like maybe Spain or Latin America. Don't be afraid to smile at strangers though. If you see a girl that you happen to think is very, very pretty, go ahead and smile, and if she likes you, there's a possibility that she will smile back. Just know that it's not the cultural norm here, and if people don't smile back at you, just don't take it personally. Let's talk about small talk. Slavic people in general are not really into small talk. People are generally minding their own business, as opposed to the US, where if we want to do anything, we always have to get the formalities out of the way. How are you? How's your family? How you doing?
The small talk thing, I think maybe it's not only Poland, but I personally realized this with Europe in general. A lot of my friends from, let's say, Denmark, Finland, I have a Polish friend as well. They're not into small talk, so I think this is true.
Doing today, all of these things. Polish people are not like that. Polish people are a lot more direct. And this is something I've grown accustomed to because I actually like it. Slavic people are very honest and direct people. Don't beat around the bush or anything. If you want something, just ask for it clearly. If you say you're gonna do something, do it. Number 3, politics. You do not want to talk politics with Polish people.
Oh, that's
Now,
good.
if you are super well versed in it and this is what you study, sure, argue your point. But there are 2 things that Polish people love to do. They love to complain and they love to argue. As someone who is an outsider, I tend to stray away from talking about politics because 1, I didn't grow up here, so I don't know the history behind everything. And honestly, it's just not worth the argument that it's going to create.
I mean, as an outsider, you for sure you better not talk about politics, right? It's not your thing. It's not your country.
A lot of Polish family gatherings will eventually turn into talking about politics or religion, and people will be screaming at each other. Like, that's how intense it gets. If you are a foreigner here, just know that we're guests, and I try to stay away from talking about politics as much as possible. Something you definitely do not want to do here is say that Poland is a part of Eastern Europe. They will correct you and say that they are Central Europe, and they're very proud of it. And I can even see that in their culture. Poland is definitely a lot more westernized than some of the more eastern countries, such as Russia and Ukraine. They're very, very particular about that topic. So if you are
Okay, look, I'm French Canadian, and when I meet French people and they say I'm Canadian, us French Canadian, we take it very personally. You gotta say you're from Quebec, or you gotta say you're French Canadian, not Canadian. Okay, it's kind of the same for Poland and Central Europe, I guess.
are mentioning Poland, always say that it is Central Europe, not Eastern Europe. There's also very strong anti-Russian sentiment here. In one of my videos, I openly stated that I wanted to learn Russian over Polish, not because I support the country, but because Russian is an infinitely more useful language. But just even saying something small like that, people were roasting me in the comments. So honestly, I would try staying away from that topic as much as possible. Another thing you should avoid doing is
Here where I live in Phuket, Thailand, and it's full of Russians everywhere. I would say 80% of the tourists here on this island are Russians. But I have some Polish friends and there's no problems at all. They can understand each other, I think, or I think Polish can understand Russian, but Russian don't understand Polish. Is that it? Or let me know in the comment down below, please.
talking about how your country is superior to Poland. You have to keep in mind that Poland back in the day was quite a poor country. Okay, so apparently I got this fact wrong. Back in the day, Warsaw used to be seen as the second Paris, but because of the war, everything got destroyed. So I may have made a mistake on that, but I'm sure Polish people will correct me in the comments down below. So a lot of Polish people migrated into other countries, such as the US and a lot of places in Western Europe. And Polish people have been associated with being almost second-class citizens. That's definitely changing now because Poland is quickly becoming a strong superpower in Europe.
Yeah,
but I think
it's
that reputation has
definitely
put
changing.
a large chip on the shoulders of Polish people. So a lot of Americans like to travel to other countries and use the fact that they are American to try to get girls. That does not work here. Polish people are very nationalistic. They are very proud of their country, even though they spend a lot of time complaining about it. So if you feel like you're
Okay, I'm gonna stop here. I think it's so cringe. It's so weird to talk about your nationality as a brag to meet girls. Like I'm American. Like so what? Like what? I don't know. Is it just me who think like this? I've never said like I'm Canadian. Like who cares? I don't know. It doesn't. I just find it very cringe.
superior in any way because of your culture, try to keep those comments to yourself. Another thing you don't want to do here is flash your wealth. Polish people are quite humble by nature and they're very frugal. It reminds me a lot of Chinese people in this way. Slavic women get a reputation for being gold diggers, materialistic, and maybe that's a little more true in places like Ukraine and Russia. But Polish people, especially the women, are not like that at all. If you want to come here, try to be a big baller and flash your wealth to everybody, nobody's really going to be impressed by that because that's just not that important here. And if anything, it's going to attract a lot of the wrong people who only want to use you and take advantage of you. I know
That's
a lot
good,
of foreigners
that's
who
good.
have come talking about cold approaching the women here and saying that the women are quite responsive. However, I don't think it's just a norm in Polish culture, and since I'm here, I want to try to assimilate to how the Polish people do it. If you do approach a group of people, it's not to say that they're going to totally reject you, just know that that's not really in the cultural norm here. When people go out, people normally stay within their groups and don't really interact with each other. But honestly, I like the fact that everybody minds their own business because I feel like I can just walk down the street and people don't really pay attention to me. Also, because there are a lot of Asians here, I don't really stand out as much as I did when I was in Colombia. If you're going to be living here in Poland, try your best to assimilate. And
A lot of Asians. Oh yeah, I thought in a previous video I saw that there wasn't many other races, even in the big cities. So a lot of Asians. I'm surprised by that.
I think this is just proper manners to do any country that you try to live in the world. I think a lot of people from the West and a lot of digital nomads will go and live in a place for a year or two, try to bring their home culture to wherever they're staying. Don't do that here. The Polish people will not take too kindly to that. So once again, my friend corrected me and she said that Poland is actually quite open to other cultures. They just don't like it when you try to pressure them into changing for your culture. And I think that's one of the main reasons why there's a lot of negative stereotypes against Muslims and African immigrants right now. However, they do love Americans here. So you can say that you're proudly American. Just try not to put Poland down in the process. Polish is a very
That's interesting. Like you guys in Poland really don't want to change your ways, and I wish we were more like this in Canada and other countries. Yeah, in Canada, if you say you want to change something, they're gonna change it for sure. So yeah, good thing, Poland. You continue respecting your values.
very difficult language to learn. So I don't think the locals expect you to speak super fluently, especially if you've moved here, because a lot of people here do speak English. I've been here for 7 months and I have not learned it yet because I know it's going to require a lot of dedicated effort. But I think showing basic respect for the language, learning some basic phrases like hello, goodbye, thank you, stuff like that will go a long way. So definitely show some respect for the culture and the language, even though I understand how difficult it is. Another thing that I found very funny is the fact that before you go into a Polish house, you have to take off your shoes. This is actually the same in Ukraine as well. I thought it was a uniquely Asian thing, but no, it seems like a lot of countries on this side of the world, even the Middle Eastern countries, require.
I do this in Canada as well. I don't understand this thing of keeping your shoes inside of a house. Your shoes are dirty, so of course you take them off. I've been doing this in Canada my whole life, and I thought it was weird. In some places, they keep their shoes on.
you to take off your shoes before entering the house. House slippers are definitely a must, and if you walk around the house with shoes or put shoes on your bed like a lot of Westerners do, don't do that here. You're gonna get yelled at. Polish are very clean people, and that's something that I heavily appreciate because their standard of cleanliness is quite similar to how I grew up in my Chinese household. Another thing you want to watch out for is speaking too loudly in public transportation. In some of the more Latin countries, maybe like Spain, Italy, the people are a lot more lively and it's a lot more common to see people talking in the subway. But here, people are quite silent, and it reminds me of maybe Germany.
I prefer that.
Austria is the same way. So if you go into public transportation, try not to make a lot of noise and be super loud with your friends. Just kind of keep things to yourself and generally be quiet on public transportation. Another thing you don't want to
I prefer that. I don't really like loud people. So I prefer going into public spaces. People keep it for themselves. And when you're with friends or on nights out, okay, you can be a little louder. But yeah, I know Japan being very quiet. Seems like Poland is a little bit like that too.
do here is jaywalk. Polish people like to obey the traffic rules. A lot of times if there's no lights or anything, the cars will stop and let you pass. But if you're at the corner of a crosswalk and the light is red, people will not cross the street. So definitely keep that in mind. And here's a bonus tip. Be a man of your word and be useful. I think there's an expectation, especially
You know, just the jaywalking. I think Montreal, where I'm from, is the worst place for jaywalking. No one waits for a green light, red light to cross the street. You just go.
for men that you can provide value and to be handy around the house, but just be able to do stuff, right? A common complaint that a lot of Polish girls say about their men is that they were baby growing up, and a lot of them are mama's boys. So if you're a man and you're useful and you're always contributing value and you're handy and you're competent, I feel like that trait is very valued here. If you guys want to watch another video, I highly recommend this.
Okay, interesting. I think this is like this everywhere in the world, though. Like, if you're a little mommy boy, it's not gonna work. You gotta be a man and take care of things. All right, guys, that was a very interesting video. Yeah, I learned some things today. So I'm ready to go to Poland. Bye bye, everyone. See you in the next video.